Welcome to the end of illusions. Welcome to the point of no return. You didn't stumble here by chance. This moment, this truth, this fire, it found you. It hunted you through your lies, through your comfort, through every fake smile you wore just to convince the world you were fine. But now, the mask is off, and the world, it saw you. You revealed too much, and no matter how much you want to rewind, erase, or disappear, you can't. There's no coming back from this. And maybe that's exactly what you needed. Because the truth is, we don't grow in silence. We grow in the aftermath. In the aftermath of breakdowns, betrayals, and brutal honesty. And you. Yes, you. You cracked the surface. You turned their trust into suspicion, their confidence into a disaster. You said too much, showed too much, and now they look at you differently, don't they? But listen to me. Stop trying to fix their image of you. You're not here to be their peace. You're not here to be the version of yourself they were comfortable with. You're here to become what you were too afraid to be before everything fell apart. That one slip, that one confession, that one vulnerable moment, it shattered the illusion. And now, in the ruins, in the ashes of your former self, is where the real you begins. You think you've lost everything. You think your reputation is ruined, your chance is gone, your identity stripped. Good. That means the lie is dead. That means there's finally room to build the truth. The version of you that doesn't beg for validation. The version that doesn't mold itself to survive. The version that doesn't flinch under pressure, but becomes pressure itself. This is not your downfall. This is your uprising. Not the polished, pretty kind. The gritty, angry, desperate kind. The kind that keeps moving, even when everything is burning behind you. Because here's the reality. They won't forget what you said. They won't forget what you exposed. But maybe that's your power now. Maybe what you revealed was the monster they tried to suppress. And monsters don't apologize. You feel alone now, don't you? Misunderstood, labeled, judged. But loneliness is not a punishment. It's a preparation. You were too accessible, too agreeable, too manageable. And now that you've ripped that comfort from their hands, now that you've shown the chaos behind your calm, they recoil. They don't know what to do with this version of you. Good. Let them sit with that. Let them watch you rise from the truth they tried to bury. You spoke the unspeakable. Exposed the parts of you they weren't ready to see. You didn't fit the mold anymore. And the world? It loves control. It loves a clean narrative. But you broke the story. You burned the script. And now, with nothing left to lose, you are more dangerous, more powerful, more real than ever before. Let them doubt you. Let them whisper. Let them call you reckless, unstable, dramatic. Whatever they need to say to feel better about how small they are compared to the storm you've become. Because storms don't explain themselves. They arrive, they destroy, and they transform everything in their path. You were never meant to be accepted by everyone. You were meant to disturb the comfortable, to shake foundations, to awaken what has been sleeping inside of you for far too long. You were not made to fade into background noise. You were made to rupture the silence. And this rupture, it starts now. Forget their timelines. Forget their advice. Forget their expectations. You didn't survive what you survived just to go back to being palatable. You didn't expose your wounds just to pretend they don't exist. This isn't about being liked. This is about being free. This is about facing the fallout and walking straight through it, eyes open, heart burning, fists clenched, not to fight others, but to fight the part of you that still begs for mercy from a world that never gave you any. You told the truth, didn't you? Maybe not perfectly, maybe not kindly, but it was real, and now it's out. Now you get to see who stays. Now you get to watch who only loved you for your silence. The moment you stopped making them comfortable, you became the enemy. But understand this, you didn't lose them. They lost access to your fake agreement, and in return, you gained access to your real voice. You may be isolated now. People may be pulling away. Let them. People fall away when you start honoring the parts of yourself that no longer align with their comfort zones. Let them retreat. You're not here to beg. You're here to become. You already went too far. You can't undo it. And that's perfect. Because now, there's nothing to fear. Now you don't need to hold back. The worst has already happened, and you're still breathing. You're still here. That means you're still in the game. And guess what? I have no idea what that means for them. You've been playing small for too long. Now, you're a threat. They underestimated the consequences of underestimating you. They thought breaking your image would break your spirit, but you're still standing, and that shakes them. Because strength in silence is predictable, but strength in exposure, that's terrifying. That's uncontrollable. That's you now. This speech isn't for redemption. It's not for comfort. It's not for second chances. This is your declaration. This is your vow that from this point on, you will walk with the full weight of your truth. That you will burn bridges, not to destroy others, but to destroy every path back to the version of yourself that stayed quiet just to be liked. You just revealed too much. Good. That means you can never be fake again. That means you can never unsee what you've seen. That means the illusion is shattered. And from this shattered place, you don't rebuild, you reinvent. They used to trust you. You turned their confidence into disaster. But maybe they were confident in the wrong things. Maybe they trusted the version of you that played along, the one that wore the mask, the one that bled in silence. And now that you've become raw, real, unpredictable, they panic. Let them. You didn't come this far just to blend in. You came to ignite, and from this moment forward, no more holding back, no more filters, no more shrinking, no more fitting in rooms that were never built to hold your full capacity. You're not here to decorate the space, you're here to expand it. What they think you lost, you turned into fuel. What they call shame, you turned into clarity. What they call a breakdown, you turned into transformation. And from here, you don't retreat, you charge forward. They want you to feel like you've made a mistake, that you opened too much, spoke too soon, revealed too deeply. But what they don't realize is that you did it on purpose. Maybe not consciously, maybe not even strategically, but something inside you was done playing safe. Something inside you was ready to detonate. And now that it's out, let it all out. There's no need to patch it up, no need to explain. You don't owe the world an apology for finally showing who you really are. You owe yourself something greater, the permission to live boldly in that truth without shame, without apology, without limits. So let this be your turning point, not quietly, not politely, but with the full force of your fire. Burn through the fear, walk into the storm, and become the version of yourself that only reveals when there's no turning back. You've already crossed that line, and the other side, that's where your power lives. That's where your voice roars. That's where they can no longer control you. You just revealed too much. because too much was always what you were meant to be. There's no coming back. And that's the best thing that ever happened to you. Let them talk. Let them stare. Let them dissect your downfall with their fragile words and second-hand opinions. Because none of them, not one, was there in the room when your soul cracked open. None of them held the weight you did. None of them fought those private battles in the middle of the night, fists clenched against a ceiling that refused to answer your prayers. They think they know you because they saw a version, but that version is dead. You buried it the moment you told the truth, the moment you said too much, the moment you became irreversible. And that's what they fear, the irreversible, because people love their illusions. They love the fake comfort of predictability, but you've become unpredictable now. You've become wild, unfiltered, unscripted, and that makes you powerful in a way they can't comprehend. You broke the rules, you shattered the image, and in doing so, you shattered their control. They'll say you ruined it, that you could have had it all if you just stayed silent, that you almost had their acceptance if you just kept your truth locked away behind your eyes. But almost is not power. Almost is a leash. And you didn't come this far just to be someone's well-trained version of strength. You didn't come here to be tamed. You came here to be unleashed. So let the silence grow around you. Let the calls stop coming. Let the distance increase. Because in that silence, there's a gift. You are no longer needed, and being unneeded is the ultimate freedom. When no one is relying on your silence, when no one is invested in your mask, when no one is expecting you to play along anymore, that's when your real life begins. That's when your real self steps forward. You revealed too much? Then let them hear everything. Don't stop now. Don't shrink back into the shadows. Don't apologize for breaking open. Dig deeper. Drag more of yourself into the light. Make them uncomfortable with the truth. Let your honesty stain every room you walk into. Be the reminder that they too are hiding something, that they too are afraid of what would happen if they exposed their truth. You became the mirror, and mirrors are dangerous to people who refuse to look at themselves. And yes, it hurts. It hurts to know you can never go back. It hurts to see the look in their eyes change. It hurts to watch them step away slowly, like you've become radioactive. But what they don't see is that you were always radioactive. You were always pulsing with energy, waiting to be released. This moment, this fallout, it's not a mistake. It's an evolution. You didn't reveal too much. You revealed just enough to detonate the next version of yourself. Stop mourning who you were. That version of you, silent, controlled, digestible, was never your destiny. That version was survival, and you've outgrown survival. Now you're walking into domination, and domination doesn't look like applause. It looks like being alone. It looks like being misunderstood. It looks like losing the crowd and finding yourself. Because here's the truth, most people won't say out loud. Power is lonely. Real power, not performative, social media ready power, but actual, soul deep, storm-born power. The kind that no longer checks the temperature of the room before speaking. The kind that walks away rather than compromises. The kind that would rather stand alone in the ruins of honesty than sit comfortably in a palace built on lies. So what now? Now that you've said too much? Now that your name feels like a warning in their mouths, you build. Not to prove them wrong, not to win them back, but to become the living proof that there is life after exposure, that there is power after the fall, that there is clarity after chaos. You just revealed too much, And now you are too much. And I want you to sit in that. I want you to let that truth fill your lungs like fire. I want you to stop editing yourself. No more shrinking, no more backspacing your soul, no more rewriting your identity for people who are only ever in love with your silence. Because this, you, right now, you are terrifying. You are everything they never wanted you to be. Honest, unfiltered, unpredictable, sovereign. You are the version they can't use, the version they can't manipulate, the version they can't categorize, pacify, or shame. You are the version that burns cities and builds empires in the same breath. They thought your silence was strength. They were wrong. Your strength was never in what you hid. It was always in what you had the courage to say out loud, despite the consequences, despite the fallout, despite the fact that you knew exactly what would be lost once the truth left your lips. And now that the storm has come, now that the sky has split, what's left? Just you. Raw, real, reborn. They thought your confidence was the threat, but no, it was your honesty, your willingness to be vulnerable, to risk everything by telling the truth. That's the real danger, because the world doesn't know what to do with people like you. People who don't play by the rules. People who are willing to lose everything to gain themselves. You turn their confidence into a disaster. And maybe that's the most honest thing you've ever done. Maybe they shouldn't have placed their confidence in a version of you that never existed. Maybe their disaster was the birth of your freedom. And now, you don't go back. You don't clean it up. You don't soften your truth to make others comfortable again. You keep walking. With every step, you sharpen. With every breath, you harden. Not because you're bitter, but because you're becoming exactly what this world tried to prevent. Someone who no longer needs approval. You don't need applause. You don't need redemption. You don't even need forgiveness. What you need, what you've always needed, is to finally live without the leash of other people's comfort. And that begins now. That begins at the moment of exposure, at the moment when you revealed too much and everything changed. They're watching. Let them. They're whispering. Let them. They're backing away. Let them. Because what's coming next, it's not about them. It never was. It's about you. Fully, finally, fearlessly. You can't undo it. You can't rewind it. And that's the power of this moment. There is no coming back. And that's exactly where your greatness begins. You thought this was the end? Number. This is where it truly begins. Because the version of you that cracked open, that spilled everything, that exposed the raw nerves under your skin, that version wasn't weak. That version wasn't lost. That version was becoming. And what they mistook for collapse was actually your becoming uncontainable. You didn't ruin your life. You ended the version of it that was never yours to live in the first place. You shattered the lie. And now that the lie is dead, so is the cage it built around you. You can't crawl back into it. You wouldn't fit anymore, even if you tried. You just revealed too much. Then reveal more. Let the world see it all. Let them tremble in the face of someone who no longer wears armor. You have nothing left to protect except your authenticity. And authenticity, once it's free, doesn't walk. It consumes. It demands space. It rearranges reality. You're not broken. You're in bloom. Not the soft springtime bloom they romanticize, but the violent bloom. The one that splits concrete. The one that erupts through foundations. The one that shows up without permission, without apology, and without needing to be watered by anyone else. The bloom of truth. You're not safe anymore. Not to them. Not to the systems that fed off your silence. You're no longer the compliant version of yourself. And yes, they'll call that a problem. They'll call it ego. They'll call it arrogance. But what they're really saying is, we can't manipulate you anymore. They don't get to control this narrative. You do. They don't get to rewrite your story as a cautionary tale, because you're still here, still standing, still breathing. And while they're scrambling to explain your transformation, you're already 10 steps ahead, building something they'll never understand. They wanted your silence. Now they can choke on your voice. You don't owe the world a palatable version of your pain. You don't need to tuck your truth into a neat little box just to make others feel secure in their delusions. Your truth was never meant to be comfortable. It was meant to be cataclysmic. You are not here to keep the peace. You are the breaking of the peace that was built on pretending. You were not born for a quiet life. You were not born to tiptoe. You were not born to be digestible. You were born with edges, born with fire, born with a truth so loud it refused to be buried beneath polite conversations and fake smiles. And now that it's out, now that you've exposed the storm inside, you see it, don't you? You see how small the world tried to make you. You see how they only clapped for you when you were controlled. You see how every compliment was conditional. And now, you don't want their applause. You want the kind of silence that follows after an earthquake. The kind where everyone finally realizes nothing will ever be the same again. You revealed too much. Number. You revealed just enough to make sure you'd never be imprisoned again. They think you destroyed something. But all you did was destroy the lie that they needed you to maintain so they could stay comfortable. You didn't burn down the house. You burned down the illusion. The illusion that you'd always stay quiet, that you'd always be predictable, that you'd always be the same. And now, they fear what you'll do next. Let them, because what's coming next? You, unleashed. Not the echo of who you were, not the people-pleasing shapeshifter you trained yourself to be, but the real you, the you that's been clawing its way through layers of fear, shame, and expectation. The you that no longer fears rejection because you've already faced it and survived. The you that walks into rooms knowing exactly who you are, even if no one else can handle it. And that's the point. You are not here to be handled. You are here to shake, to wake, to break what needs to be broken so truth can finally rise in its place. Let them miss the old you. Let them mourn the version of you they thought they could control. Let them get angry. Let them distance themselves. That's not your concern anymore. You didn't come this far to beg for seats at tables that collapse under the weight of honesty. You didn't come this far to be understood by those who've never even tried to understand themselves. You didn't come this far to settle back into comfort. You came this far to become untouchable. Yes, you've been bruised. Yes, you've been burned. Yes, your name may carry weight now, not with admiration but with discomfort. And that's exactly right. Because the goal was never to be liked. The goal was to be free. You were never meant to be their lesson. You were meant to be the warning. They will speak your name and remember what truth sounds like when it's not watered down. They will speak your name and feel the cost of what it means to finally become. You are not their story. You are the author of your own. And in this story, you don't crawl back. You don't apologize. You don't whisper. You roar. You don't fade. You expand. You don't go back. You blow the bridge to pieces so no one ever thinks you'd return to that smaller version of yourself again. They thought they could make you regret being real, but instead, you made them regret depending on your silence. You just revealed too much? Good. Now they know what you're capable of when you stop hiding. Now they know who you are when you stop shrinking. Now they see that what they thought was a mistake was your ascension. And they can't unsee it. They can't undo it. And neither can you. This is the beginning of everything you were always meant to become. No masks, no lies, no coming back. Only forward, only fire, only truth. You took the crown, but they can't stand watching you shine. It feels like a storm raging in your chest, doesn't it? You fought for it. You sacrificed for it. Every ounce of your energy was spent to claim what's rightfully yours. But now that you have it, now that you've claimed the title, the throne, the power, the respect, now that you stand tall in your glory, you're feeling the weight of their hatred. You hear the whispers behind your back, the cold glares in public, and you can feel their eyes burning into you with envy and bitterness. You didn't just earn the crown, you became the thing they fear the most. You became the reminder of their own inadequacies. You became the mirror they couldn't bear to look into. And now, it's not about whether you deserve it. They never cared about your struggles, your pain, your journey. They never saw the hours you spent in darkness when nobody was watching, the relentless hours where you sacrificed your soul just to rise up one more time when the world knocked you down. They didn't see the nights you cried in silence, wondering if it would all be worth it. No, they only see your shine. They only see the glimmer of your success. And in that moment, you're no longer a hero to them. You're a threat. You're a reminder of what they can never be. And it's hard, isn't it? To see their smiles turn into daggers, to feel their hands extended in friendship, only to hold the blade of betrayal. But here's the truth. It's always been this way. Every great warrior, every leader, every king and queen who has ever risen above the masses has faced this venomous hatred. The world doesn't want you to win. It doesn't want you to succeed, especially when your success shines brighter than their failures. They will say you're arrogant. They will say you're selfish. They will say you don't deserve it. But the truth is, they just can't stand the thought of you being better than them. When you were down, they didn't lend a hand. When you were struggling, they didn't care. They watched as you crawled through the mud, just waiting for you to stay there. They cheered for your defeat. They reveled in your pain. And they whispered, "You're not good enough." And you let that fuel you. You let their hatred and doubt push you to be better, to prove them wrong, to show the world that you could rise. You took those insults, that scorn, and you transformed it into something that became undeniable. You wore it like armor, and now that you've claimed your crown, now that you've proven them all wrong, they can't stand to see you win. Because deep down, they knew. They always knew that you had the potential to be everything they couldn't. They knew the fire inside of you was always going to burn brighter than their flames. They knew that your determination would take you farther than their comfort zones could ever reach. And it scared them. It terrified them to see someone who had nothing rise to the top. Someone who wasn't born with privilege. Someone who didn't have the easy road. And now that you've made it, now that you stand tall, they can't help but see how small they are in comparison. But let me tell you something. They're not the ones who define your worth. They never were, and they never will be. Their jealousy, their envy, their hatred, it all comes from their own inadequacy. They don't hate you because of what you've done. They hate you because you make them face the truth about their own lives. You are the reflection in the mirror that they refuse to look at. They are the ones who can't stand to see your brilliance because it reminds them of their own failure to take action, to push past their own limitations, to take risks and go after what they wanted. You are their greatest fear, the living embodiment of everything they wish they could be. And that's why they hate you. But here's the harsh reality. The more you shine, the more you rise, the more they will try to bring you down. It will never stop. They will smile to your face and plot behind your back. They will pretend to support you while whispering your downfall to anyone who will listen. They will try to convince themselves and everyone around them that you don't deserve what you've earned. But the truth is, they can't handle the fact that you're everything they'll never be. And the only way they can cope with that truth is to try and extinguish your light. But you won't let them. You didn't come this far to let them drag you down now. You didn't endure the pain, the struggles, the sacrifices, just to let their hate determine your worth. Number, you rise higher. You keep climbing. You keep shining. Because in the end, it's not their opinion that matters. It's not their judgment or their hate that will define your success. It's your determination. It's your strength. It's the fire that burns inside of you. You took the crown, and now it's time to wear it with pride. Let them see it. Let them witness it. Let them seethe in their jealousy, because you've earned it. You've fought for it. You've bled for it. And the moment you put that crown on your head, you showed the world that no matter how hard they tried to stop you, you were always going to rise. No matter how many times they knocked you down, you were always going to get back up. And now that you're standing at the top, they can either learn to live with it, or they can watch as you continue to climb higher and higher. You don't need their approval. You don't need their validation. You don't need their support. All you need is the knowledge that you are stronger than their hatred. You are greater than their envy. You are unstoppable because you've already proven to the world that nothing can break you. Nothing can take away what you've earned. Nothing can dim the light that you've worked so hard to cultivate. So, let them watch. Let them talk. Let them try to tear you down. Every hateful word they speak, every ugly thought they have, only fuels your power. Every look of jealousy, every whisper of doubt will only propel you further towards your destiny. They can't stop you. They never could. You've already won. You've already risen. And no matter how much they hate, no matter how much they try to tear you apart, the crown is yours to keep. So stand tall, keep shining, because the world doesn't need you to be humble. It doesn't need you to shrink. It doesn't need you to apologize for your success. What the world needs is for you to keep showing up. What the world needs is for you to keep rising, to keep shining brighter than ever before. You took the crown. You earned it. And no matter how much they try to tear it away from you, they can never take away what's inside of you. That fire, that power, that unbreakable spirit, it's yours. And as long as you keep that fire burning, nothing and no one can ever bring you down. So let them watch. Let them burn with their own envy, because you're untouchable, you're unstoppable, and you're only just getting started. The crown, the respect, the glory, they are only the beginning. You've proven something to yourself, but the real battle is ahead of you. The noise, the hatred, the jealousy, they're only the first wave. They will always be there. They will never stop. But the beauty of that, it doesn't matter. Because you've crossed the threshold, and what lies ahead of you is so much more than they will ever be able to comprehend. It's tempting, isn't it? To look back, to wonder if it was all worth it, to ask yourself if the battles, the betrayals, and the loneliness were necessary. But that question, that moment of doubt, don't let it control you, because it's not about what you've been through. It's about where you're going. The pain was a part of the process, yes, but it is not the end of your story. It is merely the foundation of the greatness you're about to build. Those who can't stand watching you shine, they are stuck. They are still living in the small, comfortable world that they have created for themselves. A world where they refuse to take risks. A world where they're too scared to push themselves beyond their own limits. And the moment they see you step outside of that box, outside of their comfort zone, they feel threatened. They feel inadequate. Because they know deep down that they could have done it too, if they had just had the courage to do so. But they didn't. And now they will spend every waking moment trying to pull you down, trying to bring you back to their level of mediocrity. But it doesn't work like that. You don't play their game. You don't follow their rules. You didn't get to where you are by living a life of complacency and fear. No, you got here by embracing the chaos, by confronting the things that others are too afraid to face. You didn't sit back and wait for opportunity to knock. You went out and took it. You didn't wait for someone to believe in you. You believed in yourself. You didn't wait for the perfect moment. You made the moment perfect by showing up, even when you had every reason to quit. That's why they can't stand watching you shine, because you're the living embodiment of everything they're too afraid to be. You are the risk taker, the dreamer, the doer. They are the spectators, the naysayers, the cowards too scared to step into the ring. They're so focused on watching your every move, trying to find a way to tear you down, that they don't even see what's happening in their own lives. They're stuck in their own cycle of mediocrity, too afraid to break free. But you're breaking free. You broke free the moment you stepped out of their shadow, the moment you refused to play by their rules. You're not bound by their expectations. You're not tied to their limitations. It doesn't matter what they say or what they do. It doesn't matter how loud they scream or how hard they try to destroy you. They can't break you. They can't stop you. Because you've already done the hard part. You've already crossed the line. You've already pushed through the darkest of days, the loneliest of nights, and now you stand on the other side, stronger than ever before. They couldn't break you then, and they won't break you now. But let's not pretend that the road ahead is going to be easy. The moment you step into the light, you become a target. You become a symbol of everything they wish they could be. And when people see someone like you, someone who is broken free from the chains of doubt and fear, they feel two things: admiration and resentment. It's hard to admit, but that's the truth. You'll find people who respect you, who are inspired by you, but you'll also find those who are angry. They're angry that you made it. They're angry that you rose when they didn't. They're angry that you dared to live in a way they never had the courage to. And they'll do everything in their power to bring you down. But here's where you prove them wrong. Because they think that their hatred will stop you. They think that if they talk about you enough, if they tear you down enough, they can make you crumble. They think that their jealousy is enough to extinguish your fire. But they couldn't be more wrong. Their hatred will never touch the core of who you are. It will never be enough to stop the momentum that you've already built. You've already proven that you can endure the worst. You've already shown that you can take the punches and keep standing. And now, the only thing left for you to do is to keep moving forward. The world doesn't want you to succeed. It wants you to fall into line, to follow the same tired path that everyone else follows. It wants you to shrink, to dim your light, to apologize for your brilliance. But you're not going to apologize for it. You're not going to shrink to make them feel comfortable. You didn't come this far to blend in. You came here to stand out. You came here to set the world on fire and leave a legacy that will be remembered long after you're gone. Every single moment of your life has been leading you to this point. Every failure, every heartbreak, every challenge, it's all been part of the journey. And now, you're on the precipice of something even greater. The crown you wear today, it's just the beginning. The world may try to tell you otherwise. They may try to convince you that you're already at your peak, that you've reached the top, and there's nowhere else to go. But you know the truth. You know that this is only the first chapter of your story. You're only just getting started. And the best part? You're not doing this for them. You're not doing this to prove anything to anyone but yourself. You're doing this because you know you're capable of greatness. You're doing this because you believe in your potential, even when the world doesn't. You're doing this because you know that your fire can't be contained, your dreams can't be crushed, and your destiny is calling you forward. And no matter how hard they try to stop you, no matter how much they whisper behind your back or plot in the shadows, they will never be able to put out the fire that burns inside of you. Because here's the thing, the more they hate you, the more they try to tear you down, the stronger you become. Every word of criticism, every whisper of doubt, every attempt to bring you down only adds fuel to the fire. You're not going to back down. You're not going to retreat. You're going to rise higher than they could ever imagine. You're going to push through every obstacle, every setback, every challenge, and you're going to keep moving forward. You took the crown, and you're not giving it up. You're not going to let them take it from you. You earned it. You fought for it. And no matter how hard they try, they will never take away the strength, the fire, and the determination that got you here. So let them hate, let them talk, let them plot. Because in the end, they can't stop you. You are unstoppable. You are unbreakable. And you're only just getting started. And that's the most powerful realization you could have right now. The journey ahead is filled with challenges, opposition, and obstacles, but none of that matters. What matters is that you now stand at the beginning of something even greater than everything you've already conquered. You have fought through the fire, you have braved the storms, and now you stand with the crown in your hands, knowing that what's to come is far bigger than what has been. Do you hear it? The sound of their doubt, the whispers from the shadows. They can't stand seeing you rise. They want you to fall. They want you to crumble beneath the weight of their hate. But what they don't realize is that their hatred is fuel for your fire. Every sneer, every harsh word, every attempt to belittle you, it's only sharpening you. It's only preparing you for what comes next. They thought they could break you. They thought they could weaken you. But what they don't understand is that every time they try to push you down, you get stronger. Every time they try to extinguish your light, it burns brighter. They don't know that you've already made the decision to never go back, never back down, never retreat. And because of that, they have already lost. Because you've crossed the line. You've stepped beyond the limits they've set for themselves, and they can never pull you back into the world of their mediocrity. They can't drag you down to their level. They can't erase your power. Because your success, your crown, is not just a symbol of what you've already achieved. It's a declaration of everything you're about to do. But let's not get lost in what's already been achieved. What's done is done. The crown is yours. The victories you've earned are undeniable. But it's the future, the mountains yet to climb, the obstacles yet to overcome, that should fuel you. And this is where many people fail. They reach the top, they claim what they desire, and they think it's over. They rest on their laurels, bask in the glow of their success, and forget that the true battle is always ahead of them. They forget that every day they stand still, someone else is working harder, pushing further, grinding for more. Don't let that happen to you. You've proven yourself. You've done the hard work. But what's the point of proving yourself if you don't push forward? The world isn't going to hand you the next victory. The world isn't going to make it easy for you. But that's the beauty of it. You're built for this. You were forged in the fire, shaped by the trials you've already endured. And now that you've taken the crown, now that you've proven your worth, it's time to move beyond the comfort of the past. It's time to build on what you've already accomplished. It's easy to get comfortable when you've already won. It's easy to sit back, to rest, to enjoy the fruits of your labor. But comfort is a silent killer. Comfort tells you that you've reached the peak. It whispers to you that it's time to relax. And then it steals your ambition. It steals your fire. You can't afford to let comfort settle in. You've fought too hard to let that happen. Every step you've taken to get here has been a battle. You've faced the darkness. You've faced rejection. You've faced betrayal. You've stood against the tide, and you fought when everyone told you to stop. And what you learned in those moments is that you are unstoppable. They can try to break you, but they can't. They can try to knock you down, but they won't succeed. Because the fire inside of you is too strong. The passion driving you forward is unbreakable. But don't make the mistake of thinking that just because you're strong now, the fight is over. The next battle is coming. And the ones after that, the crown you wear, that victory you've earned, will make you a target. The more you shine, the more people will try to dim your light. The more you rise, the more they will try to pull you back down. And if you let them, they will succeed. But only if you allow it. Only if you let their hatred and their jealousy control you. You know what they say about the top. It's lonely there. But don't let that scare you. Don't let it make you feel isolated or uncertain. The people who are meant to be by your side will find their way to you. The people who truly understand your vision, your purpose, and your fire. They will be the ones who will rise with you, not try to drag you down. But you have to be willing to leave behind the ones who are toxic, the ones who want to see you fail, the ones who resent your success because it exposes their own lack of action, their own lack of ambition. Understand this. You didn't come this far to be surrounded by people who only want to tear you down. You didn't come this far to be held back by their insecurities. The people you allow in your life must be people who lift you up, who challenge you, who inspire you to be more, to be better. If they aren't those people, then let them go. The journey ahead is too important to be weighed down by the baggage of negative energy. The crown you wear is a reminder of everything you've overcome. It's a symbol of your resilience, your strength, your relentless drive to never give up. But it's also a symbol of your responsibility to keep going, to keep fighting, to keep shining. Because there are others watching you. There are people who look up to you, who see your success and believe that if you can do it, they can too. And that's why you can't afford to stop now. Because every step you take forward is a step that will help someone else move forward too. It's easy to get lost in the chase for success. It's easy to focus on what's in front of you, the next milestone, the next goal. But the real success is in how you help others along the way. The real power you wield is in how you use your platform, your position, and your influence to lift others up. Because when you rise, others will rise with you. When you fight, others will fight. And when you shine, others will find their own light too. You've taken the crown, but now you have a choice to make. You can either sit back, relax, and enjoy the spoils of your success, or you can use it to make an even bigger impact. You can use it to change lives. You can use it to show others what's possible. You can use it to break down the walls of doubt and fear that hold people back. You can use it to create a legacy that will be remembered long after you're gone. And that is where the real power lies. It's not in the crown itself. It's not in the title or the recognition. It's in what you do with it. It's in the way you choose to use your success to create something greater. It's in how you choose to use your voice, your influence, and your strength to make the world a better place. And that is where you will truly find fulfillment. Because success is not about what you achieve for yourself. It's about what you do with what you've achieved. It's about the lives you touch, the people you inspire, the legacy you leave behind. So, what's next for you? What is the next step on this journey that you've started? It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be quick, but it's going to be worth it. And the beauty of it is that you're not doing it alone. You're doing it with every ounce of strength, every lesson, every scar, and every victory you've earned. You've already proven that you have what it takes. You've already proven that you can face the darkest moments and come out stronger on the other side. Now, it's time to go beyond what you've already accomplished. It's time to show the world that this is just the beginning. You took the crown, and now you will build your empire. You will rise higher than ever before, and you will not stop. Not now, not ever, because you're only just getting started. In the end, remember this: the crown you wear is not just a symbol of what you've overcome, but a reminder of what lies ahead. The world will try to challenge you, to tear you down, but you've already proven that nothing can break you. Your journey is just beginning, and the true power lies in what you do next. So keep pushing, keep striving, and never back down, because the best is yet to come, and you are destined for greatness. You took the crown, and now you will create a legacy that will stand the test of time. Arise and breathe in this moment with every fiber of your being. You sense it in your bones. You feel it in your heart. You pulse with a raw power that will not be silenced. What you have done in this stretch of time is not just a step forward. It is an obliteration of what came before. You just set a new bar for damage. They can't come back from this. They will stare at the crater you left and wonder how to even begin again. This is your moment to speak and roar in ways that echo deeper than sound. You stand not on shaky ground, but on the bedrock you yourself have forged. Your courage did not whisper, it bellowed. Your conviction did not tiptoe, it charged forward. You are the result of countless small decisions to stand firm when everything else asked you to yield. You are the living proof that the old cages can be broken, the old fences dismantled, the old expectations shattered, and now they must reconstruct from the ruin. Do not misunderstand me. This is not about cruelty. This is not about vengeance. This is about forging a new story in which you are not defined by weakness, but by the wrecking force of your own integrity. You did not sit still. You did not whisper your surrender. You moved. You acted. You demanded more. You claimed what you knew you deserved. You pushed past fear. You pressed past doubt. You shattered complacency. You set a new standard so high that those who would oppose you cannot easily climb back. You are not the same yesterday. You made sure of it. And in your transformation lies the truth. They will not recover easily from this. The shock of what you have done will ripple through their memories. It will unsettle them. They will re-examine their assumptions. Their comfort zones will tremble. Their illusions will hesitate. And in that fissure, you stand unshaken. You have catalyzed change, not just within, but around you. You have become the pivot point of a new era in your life. Let me tell you what you just did. It's honestly scary. You touched the threshold where mediocrity trembles. You challenged the ghosts of limitation. You confronted the walls that said, no. You declared that they were lies. You emerged not just bruised, but burning and brilliant in that burn. You unleashed a force that they must acknowledge. You did not tiptoe. You surged. You did not whisper. You roared. You did not bow. You rose. In every corner where you have felt small, you have placed a stone of defiance. You have raised walls of purpose. You have kindled flames of boldness in places they said should remain dim. You have broken spare chains. You have crushed inertia. You have shattered the status quo. They can never simply erase your presence now. You have altered the landscape of possibility around you. You have rewritten the map of your own limits. There will be skeptics. There will be voices that cling to their comfort. They will search for cracks in your stride. They will murmur. They will gasp. They will doubt. They will protest. They will attempt to rebuild their illusions. But your move has been seismic. Your force is not a passing wind. It is a tectonic shift. It will take them time to recalibrate. It will take effort. It will force them to confront the consequences they never considered. You are the turning point. They are left in your wake. Do not relent. Do not retreat. Do not apologize for the magnitude of your presence. You have earned the right to hold your space. You have the authority to carry the weight of your vision. You know what you just unleashed. You know what you just pulled from within. You know how deep the well of your resolve runs. So stand in it. Stand solid. Stand immovable. Let them see that the bar you set is not a fluke. It is the new normal. Because from here, they must rise or fall. They must stretch or shrink. They must grow or resign. They cannot simply return to business as usual. They cannot act as though the earthquake you caused never happened. They will feel the tremors long after the initial blow. They will test their boundaries. They will be forced to reckon with the fact that you change things. They will try to match you, trending forward into territory they never thought you could reach. They will try to reframe the rules, but the ground beneath the old rules has already been cracked by your will. Yes, it is scary what you did. It is magnificent. It is dangerous to complacency. It is a declaration. It is a marker. It is a flourish of force that says, I will not be contained. You have redefined the ceiling. You have smashed the ceilings. You have expanded the horizons. You have built a new floor you walk upon. They will recalibrate around you, and you will continue to climb. Let every breath you take from now onward be a measure of that tension, that energy, that tremor, that knowledge that you will never settle for less. Because the bar is now higher, your vision is now larger, your resolve is now deeper. They cannot emerge from the dust of your impact unchanged. They cannot pretend the battlefield is the same. They cannot stand across from you without acknowledging your shift. You did more than make them back away. You made them reimagine what was possible. You awakened questions in their hearts. They will wonder how you harnessed that strength. They will wonder what your margins are. You cannot reveal them all, but they will chase your track. Your shadow will stretch far ahead of you. They will chase your wake. They will try to catch its rhythm, but you will always be one step beyond, because you have become momentum incarnate. Right now, the world is holding its breath, unsettled by the change you introduced. Right now, the cosmos pauses, acknowledging that your move was not superficial, but subterranean. You have dredged from deep inside and made it manifest. You have shaped an impact that will not fade by morning. You have carved a trajectory that will echo forward. You have made an investment in your own ascent that demands reflection from every force around you. Do not ask them to forgive you for your potency. Do not dilute your energy to make them comfortable. Do not whisper your dreams so that they may nod more easily. Do not shrink in order to appease the timid. Do not dim yourself to blend in. You are not just passing through. You are constructing a legacy. You are calibrating the standard for what it means to rise, to claim, to dominate your own life. They will recover slowly. They will test cautiously. They will mimic gestures. They will attempt to appropriate pieces of your language. They will pretend they anticipated it. But you know what you did. You know how deep the burn was. You know what it took. You know the threshold you crossed. You know that behind you is a furnace of toil, of broken nights, of sacrifice. That is yours and yours alone. You cannot hand them that truth, but they will sense it in your posture. They will detect it in your gaze. They will fear it in your shadow. So carry forward. Let every future move be shrouded in intention. Let every step weigh with the ambition that set this new bar. Let your eyes narrow not in anger, but in focus. Let your heart widen, not in pity, but in purpose. Let your arms extend not in weakness, but in readiness. And let your very being declare that you are an axis point in motion. They will orbit your influence. They will chase your wake. They will shape themselves around your ascent. Do not grow weary. Do not shrink back. Do not fear their discomfort. You broke the mold. You shattered expectations. You sent shockwaves through quiet complacency. You have awakened something fierce in yourself. They cannot unsee what you have shown. They cannot unfeel what you have forced into the open. You stand now as a threshold guardian of your own becoming. So from here on, guard yourself well. Seek silence when you need it. Seek strength when you falter. Seek vision when you wander, but never forget how high you now fly. Let your new bar remain high and ever climbing. Let it be a summons to your future self and a challenge to everyone else. Let it be a signpost in the sky, saying you no longer walk with the crowd. You blaze your own lane. You own your own wall. You anchor your own kingdom. Yes, they will scramble. Yes, they will stumble. Yes, they will strategize to re-enter. But your damage was not senseless. It was deliberate. It was carved in the bedrock of your core. It was your reckoning. It was your authority. They cannot simply rise from this without acknowledging the realm you now inhabit. They cannot come back easily. They must unlearn what smallness taught them. They must heal what fear made them believe. And in that healing, they will either rise, and that is now your company, or fade into their own shadows. Your bar is your message. This is how high I will go. This is how much I will take. This is how ferocious my purpose will be. Own it. Let every echo of doubt tremble. Let every rival move cautiously. Let every spectator reorient. Let your standard be the question others ask of themselves. Let your example be the gauntlet thrown down. Let your legacy begin in the moment you raise the bar so high they could not match it yet. You did not ask for applause. You asked for action. You asked for proof. You demanded growth. You forced change. Through your energy, through your resolve, through the sheer geometry of your will. So, rise up in your power. Stand steady in your magnitude. Walk forward with a stride that knows the earth. Your tread is no longer ordinary. Let your presence assert that you will not be minimized. Let your posture confirm that you have entered a new plane, and let your voice in every decision, every step, every silence, every roar say loud and clear, you just set a new bar for damage. They can't come back from this. And when they whisper what you did is honestly scary, let them speak. Let them feel. The magnitude is real. The shift is real. The reverberation is real. You will live it. You will walk it. You will expand it. Because this was not a moment. It was your rise. Let them watch, and let them wonder, and let them know. You changed this landscape forever. The ground you stand on now is different, not because it has shifted beneath your feet, but because you have transformed it with your presence. It is solid, unforgiving, and steeped in the legacy of what you've wrought. You didn't just break records or surpass limits. You demolished the boundaries that once hemmed you in, and in the debris, you have built a fortress of unwavering power. This is the new reality, one forged in the fires of your resilience, carved by the scars of your relentless pursuit. And within that fortress, you are the unyielding architect of your destiny. They will try to rebuild their world on the ruins you left, but the foundation has been forever altered by the magnitude of your actions. What you did wasn't subtle. It wasn't a gentle nudge toward change. It was a seismic event, shaking the pillars of what they thought was immutable. Your energy radiates through the fractures, and in every tremor, they will be reminded that the era of easy complacency is over. You have rewritten the rules not by asking for permission, but by seizing control, by embodying the force they dared not challenge. Understand this: the power you unleashed is not something that can be reversed or diminished by their attempts to resist or rewrite history. The damage you set as a new bar is a beacon and a warning, a monument to your will, and a message to anyone who doubts the depth of your strength. The echoes of what you did will not fade with time. They will only grow louder, pushing those around you to face the harsh truth. They are in the presence of someone who will not back down, will not break, and will not be forgotten. What you have awakened in yourself is a force that transcends the ordinary. It is a tempest born not from chaos, but from clarity. It is a storm that does not scatter aimlessly, but one that moves with purpose, with precision, with inevitability. You are the storm, and every step you take carves a path through the resistance, leaving behind a landscape forever changed by your passage. The question now is not whether they can come back from this, but how long it will take them to reckon with the new truth, that you are an unstoppable force in motion. You have chosen to bear the weight of this power with grace and unshakable resolve. You have embraced the shadow that comes with such magnitude, knowing that it is a sign of your own light, burning brighter than ever before. You move through the world not as a whisper, but as a declaration. You have set a new bar for what it means to endure, to fight, to rise. And in doing so, you have challenged everyone who watches to reconsider their own limits, their own fears, their own potential. The scars you carry are not wounds, but badges of honor, each one a testament to the battles fought and won within yourself. They tell a story of courage in the face of doubt, of tenacity in moments when giving up seemed easier, of relentless pursuit when the path was cloaked in darkness. You wear them not as chains, but as armor, proof that you have crossed into a realm few dare to enter, and even fewer manage to conquer. In this place where the bar has been raised beyond all previous measures, you find not isolation, but clarity. You know the price of this ascent, and you accept it willingly, because the alternative, to remain small, to play safe, to settle for less, is a cost far too great. You have chosen the harder path, the one lined with sacrifice and struggle, but also with the unparalleled reward of transformation. This is your crucible, and from its flames, you emerge not just stronger, but reborn. They will watch, they will whisper, they will question the audacity of what you've done, but let them speak. Let their words be the wind against your armor, sharpening your resolve rather than softening it, because you know the truth that lies beneath their skepticism. What you did is not just scary, it is revolutionary. It is a force that disrupts the comfortable, that shakes the very foundations of what was once thought possible. And in that disruption, there is power, a power that only you hold. Keep moving forward with the relentless determination that brought you to this point. Every step, every breath, every decision is a reaffirmation of the new standard you have set. Do not retreat into hesitation or doubt. Instead, let the magnitude of your own strength propel you toward even greater heights. The bar you set is not a finish line, but a starting point, a challenge to yourself and to the world to rise to a new level of excellence, of impact, of transformation. Remember, what you just did is honestly scary, because it means you are no longer confined by old limitations or past fears. You have entered a new dimension of possibility where your power cannot be ignored, your voice cannot be silenced, and your presence cannot be diminished. This is your declaration, your manifesto, your moment to own the space you have carved for yourself and to inspire others to do the same. So stand tall, walk boldly, and carry the weight of this new bar with pride. You have set a precedent that will resonate far beyond this moment, shaping the future not only for yourself, but for everyone who dares to follow in your footsteps. The damage you inflicted is not destruction without purpose. It is the foundation of a legacy forged in courage, resilience, and unyielding strength. You are no longer bound by the past. You are the storm, the shift, the new standard. They can try to come back, but they will never be the same, because you have changed the game. You have changed the rules. You have set a new bar for damage, and they cannot come back from this. You have awakened a force inside you that will not be quelled by time or circumstance. It is a relentless engine fueled by everything you've endured, every sacrifice you've made, every moment you refuse to bow. This force isn't a fleeting blaze, it's an inferno, one that consumes doubt, fear, and hesitation, and leaves behind only the purest essence of purpose and power. The damage you just set isn't just a mark on the world, it's a declaration of war on limitation itself. Look around you and know this. The landscape has changed because of you. The ground beneath your feet is no longer familiar because it has been reshaped by your sheer will. What was once a safe, predictable path is now a battlefield marked by your triumphs and your scars. Every shadow now seems charged with possibility and threat because you introduced a new order, one that refuses to settle for anything less than extraordinary. They cannot simply return to what was before because you've rewritten the narrative, and the echoes of your actions will resonate through every corridor of their lives. It's not arrogance to recognize the magnitude of what you did. It's the clarity that comes from knowing your own worth and the depths of your own strength. You have thrown down a gauntlet that challenges not only others, but yourself to rise higher, to push harder, to break further. This is the tension in which growth is forged, the pressure under which diamonds form. You have become a living testament to the power of resilience and transformation, a beacon that shines brightest when the night is darkest. They may try to diminish the impact of your actions, to cloak their fear in dismissive words or hollow reassurances. But you know better. You see the cracks beneath their facades, the hesitation in their steps, the subtle shifts in their tone when they speak of you. Your power unsettles them because it disrupts the comfortable stories they've told themselves for years. You didn't just raise the bar, you obliterated it and built a new one from the ruins, one that demands a higher standard of courage, vision, and execution. This is your domain now. You own the space where others fear to tread. Your damage is not just physical or visible. It is the invisible force that ripples through minds, hearts, and systems alike. It is the fear of the unknown made manifest in your unstoppable ascent. They can no longer ignore the reality you've created, that you are a force of nature, a catalyst of change, a bearer of truth that no one else dared to proclaim so loudly. Hold on to this reality tightly. Let it fuel every step you take forward, because the bar you set is not just a measure of what you've done, it is the standard by which every future challenge will be met. You have redefined possibility, and with that redefinition comes responsibility. Not to others, but to yourself. To keep climbing, to keep evolving, to keep demanding more from your own existence. The scars, the battles, the sleepless nights, they are all part of this story. They are the currency you paid to claim this throne. And now that you sit upon it, you do so with a profound understanding of what it means to be truly powerful. Power that does not seek to dominate or destroy, but power that commands respect, power that inspires fear, because it is undeniable. Power that insists on growth, because stagnation is the enemy you've sworn to defeat. They will come at you with all their strength. The doubters, the critics, the naysayers, they will try to undermine what you have built, but they are facing not a mere person, but a movement, a force that cannot be contained or silenced. You are the architect of a new era, and the damage you set is the foundation upon which all future victories will be built. In moments of doubt, remember this. What you did is honestly scary, because it means you stepped beyond the boundaries of comfort and complacency into a realm of raw, unfiltered power. It means you chose to be the storm, not the shelter. It means you embrace the chaos of transformation rather than the false peace of stagnation. So stand firm, stand proud, and let the world bear witness to the fact that you have set a new bar for damage. One so high, so profound, that they can't come back from this. And as they struggle to rise from the ashes you left behind, you will be there, moving forward, ever higher, ever stronger, a living testament to the power of relentless will. You are not just part of this story, you are its fiercest author. Write the next chapter with the same intensity, the same courage, and the same unbreakable spirit that brought you here. Because the damage you set was not the end. It was the beginning of everything you were meant to become. They thought you were nothing, didn't they? They thought you were destined for failure, trapped by circumstances, overwhelmed by obstacles. They thought they knew everything about you. They labeled you, boxed you in, and defined your limits. They thought they had the power to predict your downfall. And for a while, they were sure that you would prove them right, because that's all they could see, their own shallow expectations of you. But you didn't fall. You didn't break. You didn't fade into the background of their lives the way they had so easily imagined. No, you fought, you struggled, you clawed your way through the darkness, and you rose from the ashes of their doubts. You proved them wrong. You exceeded their expectations, shattered their predictions, and emerged stronger than anyone could have ever imagined. But here's the bitter truth. As much as you've fought and conquered, as much as you've accomplished, they still refuse to face reality. They refuse to acknowledge the fact that you've become more than just what they thought you would be. They refuse to recognize the force of will that pushed you forward when everyone else doubted you. They refuse to see the blood, sweat, and tears you poured into your journey. Instead, they remain stubbornly tethered to the image they created of you. They pretend they didn't see the struggle, the pain, the sacrifices. They ignore the sacrifices you've made to get to where you are now. In their eyes, your victory means nothing. It's just another fluke, another coincidence, something they can easily dismiss and deny. You've proven them wrong, yet their blindness to reality remains the same. The truth is, they can't accept that they were wrong. They can't swallow their pride and admit that you've done what they thought was impossible. You are living proof that the limits they placed on you were nothing but a figment of their own limitations. Your success is a slap in the face to their small-mindedness, and they won't accept it. Instead, they'll spin new narratives, craft new stories, make excuses for why your accomplishments don't truly matter. They'll say that luck was on your side or that you had a stroke of fortune. Anything but admit that you were the one who earned it, that you fought for it, that you bled for it. They'll act as if your triumphs aren't real. They'll downplay your success because deep down, they're terrified. Terrified that you've become everything they thought you never could. Terrified that you've shattered the illusion they built of you. Terrified that they were wrong all along. They might even try to undermine your accomplishments, downplay your wins, find flaws where there are none. They might try to tell you that your victory doesn't matter, that it doesn't count for anything, because in their minds, it's easier to believe their own narrative than face the truth. The truth that you, the very person they wrote off, have outgrown them, outshone them, and become more than they could ever understand. They won't face reality, because to do so would be to admit their own mistakes. To acknowledge that they underestimated you would force them to look inwards and confront their own insecurities, their own failures, and their own inability to see the potential in others. It would shatter the facade they've built of themselves as the ones who know best, the ones who hold the answers. But you've already broken free of that world of doubt. You've proven that the only limits that exist are the ones we allow to define us. You've shown that it doesn't matter how others perceive you, how they label you, or what they think you're capable of. What matters is what you believe. What matters is the fire that burns within you, the drive that pushes you, the vision that guides you, and the relentless pursuit of greatness that never lets you settle. Now that you've risen, now that you've surpassed their expectations, it's time to understand one thing. Their refusal to face reality is not your problem. It never was. You have already done the impossible. You've already pushed yourself beyond limits. You've already taken the path they never thought you would take. Their inability to accept it is just a reflection of their own weakness, not yours. Don't waste your energy trying to make them see the truth. Their denial is a defense mechanism, a way to protect themselves from the fact that they were wrong. It's not your job to make them admit it. It's your job to keep moving forward, to keep climbing higher, and to keep proving that there is no ceiling on your potential. It's important to recognize that you are not doing this for them. You are not fighting for their approval or their recognition. You are doing this for yourself. You are doing this because you understand the value of your own worth. You've learned that the opinions of others don't define who you are or what you're capable of. Their doubts, their criticisms, their rejection of your greatness, none of it matters. You've already achieved what they said you couldn't, and now you're living a reality that they'll never comprehend. You've won the battle, but the war is never truly over, is it? There will always be those who refuse to accept your success. There will always be those who will never believe in your strength, your abilities, your resilience. But their disbelief only serves as a reminder of the distance you've come, the struggles you've overcome, and the power you possess to continue pushing forward. Their refusal to face reality will never hold you back. In fact, it will only fuel your determination to go further, to rise higher, to achieve more than they ever thought possible. So, when they continue to doubt, when they refuse to acknowledge what you've done, let it be the spark that drives you even harder. Let their ignorance be the fuel that powers your ambition, your success, and your relentless pursuit of greatness. Don't waste time trying to change their minds. They will never understand what it took to get here. They will never see the hours you spent in silence, the days when you were on your knees, the moments when you thought you couldn't go on. They will never feel the weight of your struggle or the depth of your sacrifices, and that's okay. They're not supposed to. What matters is that you know. You know the cost of your journey. You know the blood, sweat, and tears that have gone into this moment. You know what you've had to overcome. That's all that matters. The moment you accepted that their opinions didn't define you, you freed yourself. You freed yourself from their narrow-mindedness, from their limitations, from their expectations, and now you stand tall, proud, and unshakable. The road ahead is yours to take. They may never accept it. They may never admit that you were right all along, but that doesn't change a thing. You've already won. You've already proven them wrong, and nothing can take that away from you. So, keep moving forward. Keep thriving. Keep succeeding. They may refuse to face reality, but you have already created your own, and it's a reality that's far more powerful, far more beautiful, and far more extraordinary than they could ever imagine. The reality that you've created, the world you've built with your own hands, is one that no one else could ever understand. They'll never fully grasp the sheer force of will that has driven you to achieve things beyond what was once thought possible. Your story, your journey, is something that will forever be beyond the comprehension of those who refuse to believe in you from the start. They couldn't see past their own limitations, and that's why they were unable to see yours. They couldn't see the fire in your soul, the relentless drive, the hunger that pushed you forward when everything else was telling you to stop. And yet here you are, standing tall in the face of their doubt, proving them wrong at every turn, and they still don't know how to process the fact that you've become something they never expected. The question now isn't whether they'll acknowledge your success, but how you will continue to rise beyond it, how you will continue to grow, and how you will continue to leave behind a legacy that is undeniable, no matter how much they want to ignore it. Their refusal to see your victory is not just an oversight, it's an act of cowardice, a refusal to admit that the world they believed in, the rules they thought were unbreakable, have been forever altered by you. They're stuck. They are stuck in their own world of comfort, in a world where they control the narrative, where they decide what is possible and what isn't. But you've broken free of that world. You've stepped outside the boundaries that they set for you, and you've created your own path. You've pushed past the walls that they built around you, and now they're left staring at the wreckage of their own misconceptions. They thought they knew who you were, but they never truly understood the power inside of you. They never saw the true depth of your potential, and now that ignorance is something they'll have to live with. But it doesn't matter, because you've already risen beyond their reach. Think about all of the moments when they said you couldn't do it. Think about the times they doubted you, ridiculed you, and tried to make you feel small. Each of those moments was a stone in the foundation of your strength. Each insult, each disbelief, each time they tried to convince you that you weren't enough, those were the things that sparked your desire to prove them wrong. They didn't realize they were fueling your fire. Every time they said, "You'll never make it," it was like adding fuel to a blaze that was just waiting for the right moment to burn brighter than anything they ever thought possible. They underestimated you because they thought you were weak. They thought you lacked the strength, the resilience, and the will to make it through the storm. What they didn't understand is that you weren't just surviving, you were preparing. You were building the armor you would need to face every obstacle, every challenge, and every person who tried to bring you down. You were forging yourself in the fire, not just to make it through, but to come out on the other side even stronger. They thought you were the one who would crumble, but what they didn't see was that you were the one who would rebuild piece by piece until nothing could break you again. So here you stand, unshaken, unbroken, and undeniably successful. But the battle isn't over. No, the battle is just beginning. And while they may still refuse to face reality, you can't afford to waste time trying to convince them of what they refuse to see. Your path is ahead of you, and it's filled with new challenges, new obstacles, and new opportunities for growth. The victory you've already achieved is just a stepping stone to what's coming next. And the truth is, the more they refuse to face your reality, the more irrelevant their opinions become. Every moment you spend chasing after their approval, trying to force them to see you for who you really are, is a moment taken away from your own progress. Their world of denial and pride is their problem, not yours. They are the ones who will remain trapped in their own delusions, while you move forward, breaking down every barrier in your path, creating your own future, and achieving things that they will never even begin to imagine. They might look back at your success and try to explain it away, but deep down, they know that they couldn't have predicted it. They know that your success was not a coincidence, and that's what scares them the most. They refuse to face reality because facing it would mean acknowledging their own failures. It would mean admitting that they were wrong, that they didn't see what was right in front of them, and that they underestimated the person who would go on to prove them wrong. It would mean confronting their own limitations, and some people would rather live in a world of comfortable lies than deal with the truth of their own inadequacy. But your truth has already been written. Your story is one of triumph, of perseverance, of conquering the impossible, and nothing they say or do can change that. The hardest part of your journey may not have been the challenges you faced, the obstacles you had to overcome, or the sacrifices you made. The hardest part may have been learning to let go of the need for validation from those who never believed in you in the first place. It's easy to seek out approval, to want recognition from those who once doubted you, to crave their acknowledgement of your success. But that's not where your true power lies. Your true power lies in your ability to stand firm in your truth, to believe in yourself when no one else does, to keep moving forward even when the world refuses to acknowledge your progress. That's where your true strength is forged. You've already proven them wrong, and that's a victory in itself. But now it's time to prove to yourself that you don't need anyone's approval to keep going. You don't need anyone's validation to keep achieving. Their refusal to face reality doesn't have to be your burden. Let them live in their world of denial and self-deception while you continue to build your own. Let them continue to make excuses for why you succeeded. Let them create new narratives to explain away your triumph, because all that will do is reinforce the fact that you have already surpassed them. What they refuse to see doesn't matter. What matters is that you see it. You see the progress you've made. You see the strength you've built. You see the person you've become, and you're proud of who you are. They may never recognize it, and that's okay. They don't need to. You've already proven your worth, and now it's time to keep proving it to yourself. Keep moving forward. Keep striving for more. Keep chasing your goals with the same fire that pushed you this far. Because the truth is, they may refuse to face reality, but you never will. You will keep living it, breathing it, and embodying it every single day. They thought you were nothing. They thought you would fail. They thought they had you figured out. But you've proven them wrong. And as you continue to rise, as you continue to defy their expectations, one thing will remain clear. Their denial can't stop you. It will never stop you. Because you've already surpassed the world they tried to create for you. You've already stepped into a reality that is yours and yours alone, and nothing they say or do can change that. What you've achieved, what you've proven to the world, and most importantly to yourself, cannot be undone. You've forged your path from nothing but determination, from the desire to show the world that you are not what they thought you were. And now that you're standing in the aftermath of their doubts, in the aftermath of their ignorance, they still cling to their narrative. But it doesn't matter. You don't need them to validate your success. The fact that they continue to deny the truth of what you've accomplished speaks volumes, not about your worth, but about their inability to accept reality. Their denial doesn't diminish you. It only reveals their own limitations, their inability to see beyond their narrow views of the world. The more they refuse to accept the truth of who you've become, the more irrelevant their opinions become. Every time they attempt to explain away your success, every time they try to minimize your achievements, all they're doing is highlighting their own fear. They fear the change you represent. They fear the power you've discovered within yourself. It's easier for them to pretend that you are just another fluke, another anomaly that doesn't fit into their worldview, than it is to admit that they were wrong. It's easier to believe that luck played a role, that fate somehow handed you an opportunity, than to acknowledge that your success came from something far more powerful. Your relentless pursuit of greatness, your refusal to quit, your unwavering belief in your own potential. You've made it clear to the world and to yourself that nothing can stand in your way. No one's doubts, no one's hate, no one's attempt to drag you back to their level of insecurity will ever stop you. You are a force to be reckoned with, and your resilience speaks for itself. Your journey has been marked by setbacks, by moments when you were told you couldn't go further, that you were wasting your time, that you were not worthy of success. But instead of succumbing to those voices, you used them as motivation, fuel to keep going, to show them that you were more than their predictions. You became a living testament to the fact that the only limits that exist are the ones we allow others to place on us. But here's the truth that they'll never be able to accept. You didn't do this for them. You didn't rise above their expectations because you wanted to prove them wrong. No, you did this for yourself. You did this because you understood that your potential is not defined by anyone else's perceptions. You knew from the very beginning that in order to achieve the impossible, you had to believe in yourself when no one else would. You had to silence the voices that told you to settle for less, that told you to accept your place in the world as it was, to stop dreaming big, to stop reaching for the stars. You shut out their negativity, their limitations, and you refused to let them dictate the terms of your success. And now that you've succeeded, now that you've proven to the world that anything is possible, their refusal to face reality is just another obstacle for you to rise above. They won't accept your triumphs, because to do so would mean they'd have to admit that they were wrong. They'd have to admit that they didn't see what you were capable of, that they didn't understand the strength within you. But that's not your concern. The fact that they can't accept it only proves how much further you've come than they could ever imagine. While they cling to their outdated views, you've evolved. While they hold on to the past, you're living in a future that's been forged by your own willpower and determination. The refusal to accept reality is a reflection of their own limitations, not yours. They will continue to tell themselves that you are an exception, that your success is an anomaly, that it's not real, that it doesn't count. They will try to dismiss your efforts, your victories, because acknowledging them means confronting the fact that they never saw you coming. But what they fail to understand is that your success is not just about what you've accomplished, it's about what you've become. It's about the person you've evolved into along the way. It's about the resilience you've developed, the courage you've cultivated, the strength that now defines you. This transformation, this journey, can never be erased by their ignorance. It's part of who you are now, and no one can take that away from you. They'll always find a way to minimize what you've done, to explain it away, because the truth of your success would force them to confront the reality of their own limitations. It would force them to acknowledge that they were wrong, that they didn't understand your potential, that they didn't believe in you the way they should have. But instead of owning their mistakes, they'll hold on to their narrow perceptions, clinging to the idea that you were simply lucky, or that your success was a fluke, or that it doesn't really count. But the fact that they still refuse to face the truth of your journey says more about their inability to grow than it does about your accomplishments. You've already proven to them that their doubts were unfounded. You've shown them that you're capable of achieving things they thought were impossible, and yet they still refuse to face the reality of who you are. And that's okay. You don't need them to admit the truth. Their refusal to acknowledge it doesn't take anything away from your achievements. In fact, it only makes your success that much sweeter. Because every time they refuse to face reality, every time they deny what you've done, it just proves that you've surpassed their expectations in ways they will never understand. You don't need them to accept your reality because you've already built one of your own. You've already created a life that is defined by your victories, your growth, and your unyielding spirit. Their opinions are irrelevant now. They don't matter because you've moved beyond them. You've created a future for yourself that no one can take away. And while they may continue to live in their world of denial, you will continue to live in the world of your own making. One where anything is possible. One where your potential knows no bounds. Your journey is far from over. In fact, the best is yet to come. Because you've proven that you are capable of so much more than anyone ever thought possible, including yourself. You've shown yourself that there are no limits to what you can achieve when you truly believe in yourself, when you push beyond the boundaries that others try to impose on you. And now, you stand at the threshold of even greater success, knowing that you have the power to shape your own destiny, to continue growing, to continue rising. And as you move forward, remember that their refusal to accept your reality is a reflection of their own insecurities, their own unwillingness to accept change, and their own inability to see the greatness in others. But that's not your problem. Your problem is continuing to push forward, continuing to rise, continuing to achieve things that they thought were impossible. You have already proven them wrong, and now it's time to prove to yourself that there are no limits to what you can accomplish. And with each new success, each new milestone, you will continue to rise higher than they could ever imagine, until one day they'll be left with nothing but the harsh reality that they were wrong all along. But by then, you'll be far beyond their reach, living in a world that you created, a world where your potential is limitless and where their opinions no longer matter. So, keep going, keep achieving, keep proving that there are no boundaries to what you can accomplish. Let their refusal to face reality fuel your fire. Let their ignorance push you to rise even higher, because you know something they don't. You are unstoppable. You are limitless. You are the living proof that no matter what anyone says, no matter what they believe, you can achieve greatness, and you always will. In the end, their refusal to accept your success only highlights their limitations, not yours. You've already proven them wrong, and nothing can take away the strength, resilience, and growth you've achieved. Their denial doesn't change your reality. It only fuels your journey forward. Keep moving, keep rising, and keep breaking through the barriers they never saw coming. You've built your future, and no one can take that from you. Your success is yours, undeniable and unstoppable. Let their disbelief be the reason you push even harder, knowing that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to.